Imagine standing at the edge of a dense forest. On the other side lies the person you want to be: healthier, wealthier, fluent in a new language. You step forward with a burst of energy, promising yourself, "This time I will make it." But as days turn into weeks, the path gets foggy, the initial energy fades. By February, you're back where you started. We've all been there. There is an old saying, "The road to hell is paved with good intentions." It sounds harsh, but science tells us it is surprisingly accurate. Every year, millions of us set goals, and every year, millions of us fail. Why? We often blame our willpower. We think we just weren't motivated enough. But what if I told you that motivation is actually the problem? What if the difference between success and failure isn't about how much you want it, but about a simple, boring technique discovered in a British research lab in 2001? Welcome to Sciencepect. Today, we are not just talking about goals. We are dismantling the myth of motivation and giving you the scientifically proven blueprint to actually getting things done. Let's travel back to 2001, to a study that changed how psychologists understand human behavior. Researchers in Great Britain wanted to see the best way to build an exercise habit. They gathered 248 people and divided them into 3 distinct groups. Group 1 was the control group. They were simply asked to track how often they exercised. Group 2 was the motivation group. They were given inspiring materials about the benefits of exercise, how it reduces heart disease and improves health. They were pumped up with information. Then there was Group 3. They received the same motivation as Group 2, but they were asked to do one extra tiny thing. They had to write down a plan. Specifically, they completed this sentence: "During next week, I will partake in at least 20 minutes of vigorous exercise on day, at time, in place." The results shocked everyone. In the first 2 groups, only 35 to 38% of people exercised at least once a week. Think about that. All those motivational speeches given to Group 2, they increased success by almost 0%. Motivation had no real impact on behavior. But Group 3, the group that simply wrote down a time and place, 91% of them exercised. This reveals a crucial truth. Most people don't lack motivation. They lack clarity. This is what we call the intention-action gap. We have the intention, but without a map, we get lost. So, what was the magic behind Group 3's success? It's a concept psychologist Peter Gollwitzer calls implementation intentions. It sounds fancy, but it is essentially an if-then algorithm for your brain. If situation X happens, then I will do behavior Y. When you make this plan, you are outsourcing your decision-making to the environment. You stop relying on willpower. When the clock strikes 5 p.m., you don't have to ask, "Do I feel like working out?" The decision is already made. The time is the trigger. The action is automatic. James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits, simplified this into a formula we can all use right now. Here it is: I will behavior at time in location. Let's fix your vague goals. Instead of saying, "I will read more," say, "I will read for 15 minutes at 10 p.m. in my bedroom." Instead of "I will eat healthy," say, "I will eat a salad for lunch tomorrow at my desk." This works because friction is the enemy of habit. The hardest part of any task is starting. By defining the when and where, you remove the mental friction of deciding to start. You just execute. Now, let's upgrade this system. Sometimes a time on a clock isn't enough. We need a stronger trigger. This brings us to habit stacking. This is where you anchor a new habit to an old one. The formula changes slightly. After I current habit, I will new habit. Your brain already has strong neural pathways for brushing your teeth, making coffee, or taking a shower. You can hack these pathways. For example, after I pour my morning coffee, I will meditate for 1 minute. The coffee is the cue. The meditation is the passenger. But we have to be honest, sometimes the new habit is boring. Why would you want to do it? Enter temptation bundling. This creates a link between something you need to do and something you want to do. Imagine you love listening to true crime podcasts, but you hate cleaning the house. Make a rule: I am only allowed to listen to this podcast while I am cleaning. Suddenly, cleaning becomes an opportunity, not a chore. You are hacking your brain's dopamine reward system. Even with a plan, you might feel resistance. Going for a run sounds exhausting. This is where the 2-minute rule saves the day. The rule is, when you start a new habit, it should take less than 2 minutes to do. Read 30 pages becomes read 1 page. Do 30 minutes of yoga becomes take out my yoga mat. You might think, what is the point of reading just 1 page? The point is not the reading. The point is showing up. You cannot optimize a habit that does not exist. First, you must master the art of showing up. Once you start, it is much easier to keep going. Motivation follows action, remember? And this leads to the deepest layer of change: identity. Stop trying to do things. Start trying to be someone. Don't say, I want to run. Say, I am a runner. Don't say, I want to read. Say, I am a reader. Every time you execute your 2-minute habit, you cast a vote for the type of person you want to become. Over time, these small votes add up to a landslide victory. You don't need willpower when it's just who you are. We often wait for a lightning bolt of inspiration, but real change isn't lightning. It's a slow sunrise. It comes from boring plans, not exciting intentions. Science shows us that relying on willpower is a trap. Relying on systems is the key. So, here is my challenge to you. Don't just close this video and scroll to the next one. Take 60 seconds right now. Pick one goal, just one. Apply the formula, I will action at time in place. Write it down in the comments below. When you write it publicly, you increase your commitment. If you found value in this scientific approach to life, hit the like button. It helps the algorithm show this to more people who need clarity, not just motivation. And if you want to build a better version of yourself based on facts, not feelings, subscribe to Sciencepect. Stop hoping, start planning. I'll see you in the next video.